Okay, it's a beautiful day outside, so instead, let's be indoors and make a Garageband song. I'm wired on iced coffee and I'm choosing the drummer track, and we're going to make some sort of hip hop song. We're going to do this right now on the fly. So, first, let's select a type of drummer. Again, this is using the drum machine. I always like 90s boom bap rap. Let's hear what this sounds like. Now let's change it up so we're not using just the parameters that the program gave us to make it a little bit more our own. I always like doing low fills because a good drummer isn't just doing fills throughout the entire song. Okay, and then let's bring this out so that it's about the average rap length. I'm going to go down here to time, and we can see that it's about 2 minutes long. So let's make this a little bit more our own drum sound. And that's so that when we're distributing the song to distributors, that they're not saying this just sounds like GarageBand, which sometimes happens. So I'm going to go over here to the knob controls, which is also called smart controls. And this gives me the actual mixing board. Forgive me that it's a little bit clipped off. This gives me the soundboard for this drum kit. So I'm going to edit this live and you can hear it. That's bringing the snare up. Bring the hi-hat. You can also do the EQ. But let's pull away from this. We can come back to it and let's start really making this a rap beat, an instrumental rap beat, by making it a rhythm. And to do that, we need some kind of a bass line. So we're going to go to new track, MIDI, because this is now a software, another software instrument that's not drums. And we'll come over here and we'll go to bass and we'll do pick bass. Now, if you don't have a MIDI player plugged into your computer, that's like an actual little keyboard if you don't know, you can bring up a synthetic one by pushing Command K. And this is now effectively your computer controlling a little miniature synthesizer. So it's a bit confusing where these are not the actual music notes. Like this, for example, that's a C, but it's showing you F, unfortunately, because it's showing you that if you push F on your keyboard, it will play C. That's not the greatest design, but they need to let people know how to push this down for what key respectively. So unfortunately, you'll have to remember that these are not music notes. Anyways, let's get recording some kind of a bass line. So we go up to here, we hit record. All right, now obviously that was pretty boring, but I just want to show you how you can lay down a little ditty. And then what you can do is you can actually repeat that out so that it will continue to play it so you don't have to sit there and do it the whole song. So let's hear what it sounds like again. And then know too that you can actually change that on the fly. So you've chosen this picked bass instrument. Let's hear what it sounds like in the stinger bass. And you can see I'm bringing the volume up on the bass because that right now is more needs to be more prominent in the rhythm. Okay, and I'm going to show you really quick too that you can change the sound, the audio engineering for the preset for the stinger bass. So I've clicked on that track, and again, we're still up here in smart controls, and we can play around with this. Let's crank up the delay and see what that sounds like. By the way, whenever you're editing music, it can be confusing to hear the changes that you've made without isolating the track. So if you just want to hear what's different about the bass, come over here and then you click onto the earphones, and then that's going to isolate that track so that you know just what that has changed. You can see I'm changing some of these other ones. So I'm going to bring the delay down a little bit. Okay, and in general, I like that. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. We're going to go on to making another track for this rhythm. So once again, we're going to do MIDI. By the way, this is if you want to sing over the track, for example, using a microphone, or if you want to bring in, say, a sample or any kind of online audio or just digital audio, MP3s, WAVs. This is if you want to plug an actual instrument into your computer to lay down a riff over GarageBand, whether it be using a bass, a guitar, a synthesizer, what have you. So anyways, I tend to make music using software instruments, and that's what I'm showing you today. So let's get some sort of a lead for this rhythm. In fact, we'll go to synthesizer, and then we will pick lead, and then let's see what some of these sound like. Classic Supersaw. How about cracking lead? That has kind of like a video game sound to it. Epic hook synth. I like that. Let's mess around with that one. Let's turn it down slightly. We'll go ahead and we'll lay something down. So I'm going to hit record. Going to wait a little while for the bass. And okay. Now we'll go back and listen to it. Now, by the way, I can not play piano very well. I'm terrible at using both my hands. But in a digital audio workstation like GarageBand, you can basically just build each hand's part one at a time. So that's like, this is the left hand playing this, and now the right hand, we can do the part higher up. So I'm going to click down here to go one octave higher. And now we can lay something down for what the right hand would be playing. All right, so that was kind of insipid. That's fine. I'm just showing you how to do this. And now we can take away the bass for a few bars, and then we'll bring it back. So I'm selecting this whole bass here, copying that, and then I'm going to bring the bass back after the synthesizer stops its little solo. So it will kind of return. Good music is always taking away and then adding back the familiar sounds that the listener is hearing in the song. All right, and I'm going to show you another thing too, which is that you can record dynamic aspects of the song into the song. So for example, wanting the volume to go up and down in the middle of a song, or perhaps in stereo you want the song to pan left or right. So what we're going to do, we're going to close this keyboard out. Now hit A on your computer's keyboard. And this is bringing up, forgive me, I forget the term for this, but this is when you can add, let me see if I can actually find it. Like if you're doing an automation, I believe this is called. If you go up to mix, which is cut out of my screen right now, but next to record is mix, show automation, that's what this is. So we're going to add the automation of, so again, I'm going to hit A. Let's adding a little bit of reverb when the bass line comes in the second time. So not the first section of bass, but the second section of bass. We're just on this track. It's a little bit confusing at first when you look at this, but you're going to look for this yellow line right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a starting point. Forgive me, it's actually this blue line. You create a starting point. So this down here is essentially no reverb. Then you click a second dot, and now you can drag that up. So what this is the reverb ascending, and it will ascend across the length of the bass track until it maxes out. And then I'm going to add another point because I want to bring the reverb back down to where it was after the bass line concludes. So let's listen to that. Okay, so you can hear that progressively the bass was getting more reverb as it went along. So I'm just going to wrap this lesson up here by showing you that you can save everything, what you've done, practice song, and then as well you can also take it and you go up to share, export song to disk, practice song, and it will do the same thing. All right, if you have any questions, feel free, go ahead and put them in the comments, and thanks for watching.